Hi, everyone. So, today I'd like to talk about my experience with my virginity from my adolescence to today. So, when I was a teenager, it was not really a problem for me to not have sexual relationships. I don't remember being necessarily interested in doing that with girls in high school without being in a relationship. Because I am not this kind of man, but it's also possibly because I had a delayed puberty. So it seems like because of that, I didn't experience what a lot of teenagers tend to experience. There is, of course, other factors, and one of them is that I wet my bed until 18 years old. So, of course, I was afraid that if I got too close, like to a girl, for example, I will she could actually smell me. Okay, and I will smell bad because of that, because it can take years for the smell of urine to go away. So it was very hard for me. Also, since I am autistic and I didn't know it at the time, but I felt very different than most people, so I couldn't relate to a lot of people, and I was not necessarily really attracted to the personality of most of those girls, and I was also kind of shy, pretty shy, so it was pretty hard. So then I dropped out of high school, and I left my friends. So I became more and more lonely. I was living with my parents up to recently, and but most of the time I was alone in my room, and I didn't necessarily talk too much to my parents. So and years after that, this is when I started to watch a lot of pornography, unfortunately. So obviously it was different for me, a different experience. So biologically, I felt different, and but it's nothing that made me want to go out there experience sexual relationships with real women. It's nothing like that. I had no friends, and I was talking with some people on the internet, but that's about it. I had really really no friends, and I didn't meet people. And so that's pretty much all I had. Okay, when it comes to my sexuality. And then a couple more years after that, this is when it started to become much more difficult for me. I started to really feel the lack of affection and sex too. It became much harder, and sometimes I even cried, and I imagined myself loving a woman, like kissing a woman while actually kissing my own arm, for example. And this is something that happened still a lot of times over the years. And after even more years, started to become even harder. Start to feel much heavier, and it was already pretty bad. But I was used to it, so that's all I knew. But at some point, I became even more frustrated, mixed up with the fact that I developed some mental health issues, some mental disorders, and other health issues. So it's probably primarily about that. But the mix of those things made me suffer even more. And I felt that this is something that actually amplifies my emotions, and I started fearing a little bit that if I had to experience certain things outside, maybe I could feel a lot more anger and hatred. And sometimes I wonder, it's nothing dangerous like that, but I can feel like I could be more aggressive in some cases because of my pain, which is very, very deep. And a part of me started to even have the temptation to have a sexual relationship with a woman, even without being in a relationship. And I am not this kind of man, but this is what it does after a certain amount of time. It's a part of you wants to give up. You feel like, what's the point, right? And I am 33 now. So it has been very difficult for me for a very long time. And in the last couple of years, I started to actually imagine myself as a very, very old man without ever having experienced love and sexual relationships, without even having ever accomplished anything meaningful in my life. And I feel that time is running out, that I have to do something. Because time, it feels like time goes even faster now. I just don't want to see my life go by and without having tried anything. So I started thinking about the possibility that it may be preferable for me if the occasion comes to try maybe to be in a relationship with someone, a woman that I wouldn't necessarily even like too much. Maybe I should try to go on some websites to try to date someone. I think that this is something that could help me a lot. Maybe this will help me with my health issues. And I'm starting to feel a lot more pressure. I feel that I have to do something in the next couple years, maximum. This is so difficult, and it's not common for people to experience something like that. What it's like to never have loved someone and to never have been loved. I think that this is something that everybody should experience. It really has to be experienced to know what it's like. To have never experienced any of those things at 33 years old. It's extremely difficult, and it's definitely something that changes a man. And I hope that my situation will get better in the next couple years. So thanks for listening to my testimony, and see you in another video.